some wine in here. Oh, shit. Hi, guys.
Hi. Hi,
Right when,
Amanda.
hi, CeCe. Hey, girlfriend. Hey, girlfriend. I sound like my mom.
Hi,
Right when we
hey.
hit live, I was telling CeCe I should really have some wine in here. I was like, oh, God. Anyway, hi, everyone. It's
It's
me,
Sunday.
Amanda,
Champagne
and
breath.
CeCe. Yeah, Sunday Fun Day. We are back with another Big Girl Love Stories. We were just so overwhelmed and happy with how well the first video went. We had to make a series about it. So here we are with a series all about big girl love stories and experiences just for you. In our first episode, episode 1, we talked about how me and DC's relationship started and the ins and outs of insecurities in meeting someone for the first time and your standards and whatnot. So today we are going to hear all about CeCe's relationship with Robert, how it got started, where they are now, and all that good stuff. Yay! I know you guys are so excited. Are you nervous or excited to share your story with everybody?
I think the girls who have read my blog, they kind of know
Mm-hmm.
where we are, but it's kind of weird to talk about it in real time. I wore my
Yeah.
R jacket for Robert today.
Hey. Most of these people that are watching, may not be very familiar with the story. So to them, this is a totally new experience. So I'm
Definitely.
excited for them to hear everything.
Yes, I love love, and I like talking about boys and girls or dating in general, whatever.
Who
Um,
doesn't?
exactly. So this should be fun.
Okay, so tell us, where did you meet and how did things blossom?
All right. So I met Robert at my day job. So I moved to New York to be an actress, and I took a little bit of time off from auditioning, and I got a job like at this company on Wall Street. I was the
Hmm.
receptionist. So I was just like answering phones, like whatever, just sitting there being cute or trying to be. And and he was the accountant down on the floor below. So we met at work, is the long story short. Like
Hmm.
he would always come be walking by my desk and I'd be like, gosh, this guy drinks a lot of water. Like he's always going to get water. And like he would like get water and it would be like, hi, how are you? Fine. Then like, the next week get water. Like, how was your weekend? Oh, it's good. What'd you do? Like it just slowly like we were
Build it up.
right. And
Uh-huh.
then
Uh-huh.
eventually it got to the point where like every day at 3 o'clock he would like come up and visit me. But I was totally clueless as to what was going on. Like I was dating online at the time. I was like in love with some guy who like was no good for me. Like I was going through my own stuff. So the fact that this guy was like coming to talk to me all the time, like I was just like whatever. But everyone else in the office, like all the older people in the office were just like they're in love. And I was like, what? Like
Ooh.
I didn't know. So it's kind of weird.
On that note, isn't it funny how everyone else recognizes something before you even recognize it yourself?
Yeah, that was, I think for me, a lot of that was like my insecurity. I think I had always been really good when I met guys in person about getting
Mm-hmm.
myself like straight into the friend zone. So like it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
unless I met a guy online that I would like put my romantic foot forward. So because I was meeting
Mm-hmm.
him like in person kind of organically, like I was just like, oh, like we're like this is just another guy friend. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
whatever. I wasn't
Yeah.
really good at like flirting in person because I just had,
Mm-hmm.
like all my insecurities, my body confidence, it just made me a little bit awkward.
Yeah. I think we can all relate to that.
Yeah.
So you guys start chit-chatting every week, and then how does it, or how did it develop into something greater?
Our road was very, very long. Like I said, I have a whole series on my blog. The
Mm-hmm.
tag is Are we dating? And because that's what it always felt like with him. Like we would go out and we would like go to dinner and we would do stuff and he would pay, but then I remember clearly like just being really confused and like not really having the
Mm-hmm.
confidence to like put it out there. So I actually, when I was hanging out with Robert, I dated the most during that time. So we were friends for a really, really long time, like
Yeah.
years long time. But like the energy was always there and like it always felt like there was more. And he didn't like
Mm.
it when I talked about other guys and stuff like that, but he wasn't making the move. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like it's because
Are
I'm
we
fat.
dating?
Right. Am I too fat? Like, what's going on?
Uh-huh.
So I would like date a lot to get over him. I had some really great dating experiences because I was
Mm.
really putting myself out there because I wanted to like get over him. And then
Yeah.
I think like I've something I've learned is that you really experience life the most when you get out of your comfort zone or when you do the things that like terrify you.
Mm-hmm.
So it had gotten to the point where I had been seeing a guy kind of long distance, and he was trying to like start things up again. And it was like right before Christmas. It was like the new year was coming, and I was just like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like I was terrified, but like we were at dinner, and I was just like, so do you like me or what? Like,
Just
and it
put
was
it out
like,
there.
yeah, like it was literally like I had ordered food and then like I couldn't eat. Like I was sitting there just
Mm.
like, because I knew I was going to ask him and then like whatever. So then he was just like, yes, of course I do. Like, whatever, whatever. I was just like, I'm trying to date other people. I can't shake what we have. Like, I just like, I had never done that
Yeah.
before. I had never put my feelings out on the line. And it was worth it. Like, that was like the week before Christmas. And then
Mm-hmm.
we decided, like, before I went home to California, that we would start, dating and give that a try. So it's been, I think, like 2 years now. I don't really keep track anymore. And we're still going strong. And at the end of the day, the fact that we were friends for so long, I think really works in our favor. Like the progression has been
Mm-hmm.
like slow and steady, like up. Like I feel like my
Yeah.
friends like fell in love and fell out of love like 8 times over for the time it took me to like get with this one
This
guy.
one
You know what
great
I
man,
mean?
yeah.
Right. So in the moment, it kind of would feel like it would make me like uncomfortable, like, oh, but I guess that's like comparison. Like you shouldn't compare yourself to other people.
Oh yeah, because
Um,
everybody's journey is so different, but it's
yeah,
just so easy to compare them. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. And
Hmm.
I still struggle with that, but yeah, that's kind of how it happened. I don't
I love that you brought up the friendship thing because I believe that there is no great relationship unless you have a friendship foundation, a
know.
strong friendship foundation. So to hear that from you is wonderful because all of the people that I know, especially my parents that are in these long-term serious relationships, started out as friends
Hmm.
and slowly built up this relationship where they learned their likes and dislikes and who they are just as a person before they got romantic.
My dad's a pastor, so
Hmm.
we were raised really conservatively, and like I couldn't date until I was like 16, and like there was a lot that I just was late on in general. And then add to that like my own insecurities and like my own body confidence issues. Like I just, like I
Yeah.
said, like I wasn't, there are some girls that could just like meet a guy and make them like her boyfriend like right away. Like I'm not that girl. And I was talking to my parents about it because I basically like fell for my best friend. Like I have a best friend,
Hmm.
but like Robert became like a very good
Yeah.
friend and confidant for
Uh-huh.
me, So I kind of fell for my best friend. My middle sister after me fell for her best friend, and then my baby sister, who's like 18, like she has a best friend, and they're like, I'm like, you guys are like more than, you know what I mean? So like
Uh-oh.
so I was telling my parents like it's all your fault. Like we can only fall for people when they become our best friends. Like we can't just meet guys and just like whatever. And my mom was like, "You're welcome." And I was like,
You're like, thanks,
"Oh,
mom and dad.
I guess that's actually a good thing." But like in the moment when you just want to be like that chick, it doesn't really like work so well.
It's so true. I've always felt like I was never that girl, even though I wanted to be. It just Yeah, I totally get that. You know, I have so many friends, I'm sure you do too, that it's just so easy for them to have that confidence and to pull a guy or for guys to gravitate towards them. And I was like, I can never be like that.
And I think
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I get that completely.
And then the other thing for me would be because I was like a big girl, like out there, I kind of felt like if a guy gave me attention, like that was my one shot. Like I feel like
Hmm.
other girls go out and like it'll be like five and six guys trying to dance with them or whatever. And for me, like, if one guy approached me, I would feel like, oh my gosh, like, is
You're
this
like,
that
oh, thank you.
moment? You know what I mean? So like I remember one of my friends being like, "CeCe, you need to relax. Like when we go out, you really." She's like, "It's all over your face that you're like
Mm,
awestruck and whatever." And I was just like, I don't. That again, those insecurities manifest themselves in like very weird ways. And so for me,
in
like
subtle ways. Uh-huh.
exactly. So for me, like the stakes were always really high because like another girl might feel like, oh, like I'll wind up on him, then I'll go wind up on him over there. Like I didn't feel like that. Like I was just like, oh my gosh, he asked me if I wanted a drink. Like, is this it? Like
Hmm.
everyone was like the one. And when I finally like let that go, I dated a lot more. Like I always laugh when I go out on like girls' night out, now that I'm seeing
Hmm.
someone and I don't care, I get hit on all the time because my
Yes.
energy is like, whatever.
The universe is so weird. Yeah, because that's how it happens. It's like once you are happy and completely confident, everything just kind of gravitates towards you, as opposed to before when you're out at the club and you're just so like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for this one dude asking me to dance. Yeah, and then it just nothing ever happens. It's
Exactly.
the freaking universe.
Exactly. Remember when we first started dating? I don't remember what we were talking about, but I definitely from the outside exude a more confident energy than what might be
Hmm.
going on inside. So I don't know what I
Hmm.
said, but Robert was like, "Oh, well, what are you insecure about?" And I like could not
Ooh.
I could not. I was like, I actually can't talk to you about that right now. I was like, I'm not like I was not ready to like tell him
Wow.
like, well, I'm insecure about my weight, I'm insecure about my size. Like at that point I don't even think we were
Hmm.
dating yet. And
Hmm.
so but he was still like a really close friend of mine. So then it's interesting like now that we're dating more seriously, like how
Yeah.
much my insecurities actually play a role in our relationship. So
Mm.
how I have to say like, well, as a bigger girl, my experience is XYZ. So when you are like
Hmm.
this or not like this, I'm trying to think of it. Like for me, like physical affection is very important to me. Like I like
Uh-huh.
to hold hands or like I want you to like hug me and like touch me and like be all like not like
Yeah.
gratuitous, but he's not really like that. Like he's more like in that way he's more conservative. And I had to be like, I feel like you don't touch me in public and that might not be a
Mm.
big deal to you, but as a big girl, as a plus size girl, the dating experience might be that someone in public doesn't want to acknowledge you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So while
Uh-huh.
I innately have a need for touch and physical affection, I also need that as like a confirmation and affirmation that you're proud and happy to be with me. Do I know you're proud and happy to be with me? Absolutely. But there's
Yes.
something about when a guy is like publicly acknowledging, you know what I mean? Like you
Hmm.
as their girl, like that makes you feel a certain way. So for me, that ties back into like my body confidence issues. Well,
Yeah.
a year later when we were having a relationship check-in, to be comfortable enough to say like not only do I need this just because of the way I'm wired, but I need you to reach out and to touch me and to hold my hand and to touch small my back and all that stuff that I love makes me feel better as like a plus size girl. It makes me feel more confident in my body confidence. You know what I mean? So that was
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
Do you feel like you need to have that affirmation in public to prove to the rest of the world that I'm a big girl and I can have love too, and this is my man and he loves me just as I am.
I think it's not, for me, it's not really about proving it, but I think I'm
Hmm.
just a realist and I know that dating a guy who looks, he's hot. Like,
Hmm.
so the fact, I know that there are people that are like, how did she get him? Whether,
Hmm.
now, if you ask him, it's the other way around. Like, he's like, no, like, how did you get me? Which is like the sweetest thing. But like, or no, how did I get you? Sorry. Like, he feels like,
Uh-huh.
you know what I mean? Like, the
Yes.
way I know that people look at us, like, he doesn't look at us like that, which is so sweet. So, internally in our relationship, do I feel good about that? Yeah. But
Hmm.
I think I've definitely experienced like moments when I can tell girls are like trying to hit on him, even though I'm right there, and
Hmm.
things like that. So,
Ooh, this will tie in perfectly with our Q&A.
oh
During
yeah,
the other half, I just ding ding
you
ding,
can
yeah.
jump in. No, you can jump in with that because I'm just rambling.
Okay, so our next half of the video is going to be answering a couple questions from you that watched our last video. The first is going to be about online dating, in particular to CeCe because she's had a lot of experience with that, good sites, tips, and more. And the second question will be about being a big girl and being with a skinnier dude. You know, how does that make you feel? Do you feel judged? And all of that fun stuff. So,
I cannot wait to talk about
yeah,
this.
two very important topics that need to be discussed, and those will be discussed in part two of the episode. So, go ahead and click on the end of this video to see that, and we will be right back. We are going to begin with a hot topic, which is online dating, and CeCe, our resident plus size princess who's all about the dating,
Who's dated half of New
has
York
some
City.
who's dated half of New York City and a few others. No, I'm just kidding.